AM, what do you want to add?
Yeah, no. I mean, y'all kind of got back into the stats and whatnot. So I
No,
don't
we
know.
can. No, it's
I'm not.
cool. It's cool. I just went through the stats, and I'm gonna play a little bit of the rest of the debate. I don't know if you saw it on Wednesday night
I
because it
watched
was
it.
a
Yeah.
yeah. Because the stat part is something that we want to understand as well. Feel me? So, but go ahead. What did you want to say? You had objective points of view that a lot of men don't like to admit. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've been kind of rocking with this Black YouTube, Black Manosphere, Red Pill thing for years. And I came into the space based on O'Shea tapping in with me based on doing videography work in Oakland, in the Bay, because he's from Cali.
Okay.
So my perspective on all of this stuff was, okay, Black folks online interacting, comparing notes. That's dope. Let me talk to people around the country, around the world, compare notes. People like us, our people, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Cool. Then I realized it kind of devolved into, Black YouTube proper. Let's talk about Black issues, solutions. Hopefully, I'm with that. Then I realized there's the sector where it's like, oh, we just want to talk about what's going on with the women and call it black male advocacy, call it red pill, call it this, that, and the third. But it
Okay.
was mostly just guys talking about external things way more so than the self improvement part. And this is years later watching this. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Most of the things out there in the world, I get it. It's fuckery on all sides. I'm objective about it. It's fuckery with men. I've seen niggas do all kind of wild shit. I've definitely seen and experienced women doing all kind of wild shit. So I'm like, well, you can't control them. You can't make them do anything. You can't take away rights. You can't force them into the community and being better. So you just got to focus on bettering yourself. Now, I said this for years in these manosphere circles, and guys was like, no, we just want to talk about what the women are doing. We want to talk about the stats. We want to talk about this, that, and the third. And I've been rocking with this thing for coming up on a decade, and it's the same thing over and over. And I've watched guys become online famous, build communities, get super chats, get attention. I made some little notes here: online attention, interaction. I'm somebody now online. People know me. Or then with super chats and cash apps, now it's profit. I've heard Manosphere Red Pill guys openly state, well, we figured out how to profit from black male rage, from male rage. I'm like, okay, so this is an industry here. This is interesting under the guise of black male advocacy. And I'm like, okay, if we want to actually talk about better in the community, it all circles back to self improvement. Because if we're dealing with our people, our hurt people, and this, that, and the third, we're talking about generational arrested development, lost boys and girls in adult bodies trying to couple and get together and wonder why. All the stats, that's way subsequent, that's way down the road. Like, yeah, of course the stats are stupid. We're dealing with people that's hella broken, trying to connect with each other while broken, talking about I want to lead a family and have a family and be married, this, that, and the third. I'm like, fam, stop it. It's so off the rails. But let me make some money talking to guys about it online over and over and over. And then to what end? My stupid ass is over here like, well, if we really care about the image of black men or the continuity and prosperity of the so-called black community, which there, of course, is no singular black culture or black community. But if we want to talk that talk, well, we got to start with the individual self-improvement, putting bettering our lives on a day-to-day basis more so than on entertainment, flossing and stunting, following pop culture trends, this, that, and the third. We need people that are, if you're going to talk marriage, let's get the best examples of that. Somebody like a Hamp who says, well, yeah, I'll talk about going and helping the wife out and the kids and whatnot, but then I'm gonna go box on the weekends. CJ, shout out to y'all doing that. That's what this was supposed to be, not just crying. And for a guy like me who's single, no kids, well, not single, but no kids, late 40s. Well, there's an example of how to prosper on that lane too. Like it should be that. I'm not saying me specifically, but anybody in that position, single, not married, people doing it in a successful way, focusing on how to do it right, more so than the complaints about things external to yourself that you can't control. I try to be as objective about this stuff as possible. And guys, a lot of the YouTube Manosphere guys did not like it because they're like, oh, so you want to distract from the fact that the women are this, that, and the third. I'm like, no, the women are a lot of this.
Let me ask you, AM, what is your synopsis regarding the information that you've heard regarding the women? What do you think about the women?
I mean, in general, my thing is this: my preference, offer it black women.
Okay.
Now, growing up in the Bay, That's a whole different thing. You see me, light skinned, I ain't some super thug type dude. A lot of women are like, we don't like you because the archetype, blah, blah, blah. So the whole Pookie Ray Ray discussion, I've heard that, blah, blah, blah. Right. But then it's diverse in the bay. If the other groups of women are feeling me, whatever. So fast forward, if the black women ain't feeling you, date out. But what I'm not going to do is just beat up on black women and say black women are this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. I say all women have a high percentage of getting off into some fuckery, despite the race, despite where they're from. So the whole passport bro thing, that's not going to save you. Trying to just bash on black women, that's not going to get it. All women have.
Let's go one at a time. Let's go one at a time, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So you didn't fit the archetype.
Yeah.
To be tough, to be a thug, right? Do you think that the Pookie and Ray Ray archetype or you think that should be an attractive archetype for women?
No.
And then so you were disregarded by black women because you didn't fit that archetype, which should be undesirable.
Not even just black women, but yeah, a lot of women.
But just in terms of, because remember my question was regarding, so the black women said, you don't fit the Pookie Ray Ray archetype, so I'm not dealing with you.
In a lot of instances, yes.
But we agreed that archetype is unbecoming.
Yes.
Okay. But you see how that could be. So you see, in actuality, you are looking at those women and saying, you want something that's undesirable. That's not good.
Sure. And I'm okay with that. But
okay, so you do see that as an issue.
Oh, yes, totally.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Here's my point. I agree with a lot of what the red pill guys are talking about, for sure. A lot of it is objectively true or, subjective to my experience. But when I compare notes with other guys in my region I grew up with, other guys around the country or around the world, I'm like, okay, so we all seeing the same thing. All roads lead back to, well, what are you going to do about it? Sitting online complaining about it ain't going to fix it. However, I get it. You guys figured out how to profit from it. So you want to keep doing it in a cyclical way and not talk solutions.
Okay, so if you allow me to regurgitate it, I just want to make sure I understand you well.
For sure.
So essentially, you're saying what they have to say is viable information. You would agree to a certain extent that yes, the women in itself can be problematic. However, profiting off other people's grief and then continuing to complain about it is just that.
Yes,
that's the negative part.
Yes. While claiming black male advocacy, though, that's the part that kind of gets to me.
Okay. So can you advocate and make money? Is that okay?
Sure. Hopefully, if it's solutions oriented that apply to real world solutions. Because here's the thing: if there's a problem out in the real world, guys come online for solutions. If you fix those solutions, then your client base might drop off. So it's more profitable to keep the discussion going in a cyclical way.
Okay.
While claiming, you see what I'm saying? Just maybe, just thought experiment. Maybe.
Okay. So you're saying essentially you hook them on the drug. They always got to come back for the drug. If you get them off the drugs, make no more money.
Right.
Okay. What percentage of the manosphere do you think is here to, what's the term? Sorry. What was it? Men advocacy. What percentage do you think is men advocacy?
Well, there's, I think 60-70% claim to be here with some kind of mission of black male advocacy.
What do you think though?
I would say, well, because you talked about it earlier. There's what guys are claiming that they're doing. There's the reality of what they're doing. There's the idea of if they truly believe that what they're doing is of some benefit, then you get into the murky gray area of, do they know this isn't actually providing real world solutions? And now are they just going to continue it because it's something cool to do and profitable too? If that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? There's just some gray area.
Where would you put the percentage lines?
High percentage, 75%. Most of these guys are either knowingly keeping guys on the hook with this stuff to their benefit, or some area in there where they truly believe what they're saying, but ultimately, is it rendering any real world solution?
Okay. If you had the ear of black men, what would you tell them to do in terms of relationships?
It has to be self-improvement. It has to be real world self-improvement. It's simple things I've been saying. Like this, the kind of stuff that got me sort of shunned away from like a black YouTube, black manosphere thing. the more I grew and the more I said, okay, let me see what's going on in this world. They're not playing around. Like, we had 2020, that whole situation, the complaints people have about the world, money, relationships, all these things. I say all I can control is making myself better. I want to see the Black community thrive. I want to see more freedom in the world. The more I build more independence for myself doing the business I do. If we want to talk Black power economics, Black male image, Black people image, whatever, I have to start with myself. It has to be self improvement. I got to tear myself away from some of the more entertaining things, from the more cultural manipulation things, propaganda things, all the stuff we've heard about. I grew up with the Panthers and civil rights movement out of Oakland, right? So I came up with simple concepts like before or after, with or without a woman, a man is going to have to strive to be the best man he can be. I said those things over and over. Guys was like, no, we got to talk about Keisha. We got to about what the Black woman is doing. And I'm like, but you can't control the woman. Then I came with simple phrases to just kick the legs out from under some of this stuff, like, well, nobody owes you anything anyway. Keisha doesn't owe you anything. Ling doesn't owe you anything. Mei Ling, whatever, Maria, nobody owes you anything. So at the end of the day, you're still going to have to be the best man you can be. Skills and resources. What are you doing to add value, regardless of race, regardless of whatever, as a man in this world? Are you trying to attain more freedom, or are you trying to walk yourself into these traps of social blah, 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 identity politics, blah, blah, blah? Are you really trying to empower yourself? Again, I'm not trying to bash the women. I'm saying, hey, men, if you claim you want to be a leader, build a family, this, that, and the third, you're going to have to be striving to be the best man you can be. That makes you more viable and valuable to achieve these things you claim you want. And to do that, you're going to have to spend way less time sitting in pity party circles online, talking to dudes that are mad about women that aren't offering real world solutions. Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Okay.
Sorry.
And usually I get into the minutia of when people speak in platitudes, and I don't mean it as a negative, right? But when we say better yourself, get in the gym, those are platitudes, right? I think it's much more meticulous than that, and we'd have to be more when we give a solution, it has to be a real tangible solution, right? But just for the sake of the conversation, I understand what you're saying, But I hate when people say get in the gym.
Why?
Because people don't know what that means. If you go to Planet Fitness right now, it's a bunch of people who were told get in the gym and they in there eating pizza on Tuesdays. Because working out is much more than just going to the building. You know what I mean? But sure. But I understand what you're saying. This is more me. I'm not talking to you directly. I'm just talking about when we speak in platitudes, people don't often understand. But your platitudes are correct though. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not pushing back against them, but I'm saying we need to give more real concrete things that people can actually do to be more healthy or to make more money and shit like that. You know what I mean?
To be clear, I've expanded on these kind of things.
Oh yeah, no, we just don't have a moment to do it now. But I catch your drift. That was more me just saying we got to go deeper. Pause. You feel me?
But no, I get what you're saying, and I would argue that try to tear Black folks away from entertainment, especially conflict-riddled, conflict-laden entertainment, and let's just say people. Period. Western society, human condition. Conflict sells. So conflict and sex sells put together. Gender dynamic conflict, whatever, intraracial conflict, everybody firing arrows at the other side. What the women doing? Come on, man.
You're saying there's no production in that period, right?
It's entertainment, but for the sake of what? And the petty side of me can look at it and laugh at it and make fun of it. But when you get into this whole thing where this Black manosphere game of, and I'm just using that as an overall blanket term, but guys claiming something like Black male advocacy, but talking way more about something external versus the self-improvement piece. I see that's going to be a losing discussion over and over.
Okay, I understand your sentiments. All right, so let me do this. Go ahead, CJ. What's popping?
I disagree with my boy AM1. So when I hear these panels, I hear a lot of men saying, improve yourself, gentlemen. You can't be a bum. Can't be sitting in your mom's house like we just did the Kevin Samuels shit the other day when Kevin Samuels was talking to the gentleman and everybody. He told them straight up, you can't be two out of the three negatives. You can't be broke, ugly, and short or fat or whatever it was. So I disagree with my boy. And since I've been starting listening to your panels, Hamp, I've seen a lot of intelligent brothers. I'm proud of how many intelligent brothers I'm starting to witness. Feel me? I was starting to lose hope, but now that I see all these intelligent brothers, it brings It brings me like, like a little joy. Feel me that brother could be this insightful. All he doing is complaining about the men complaining. Like we have to stop this shit. Men are trying to better themselves for the most part. The women aren't. So the men are going to be top of the line men for bottom of the barrel women. It don't make sense. And then all he's saying is, well, just date out. Date out. We all said that. We said date out, better yourself, be better. But when are we going to put the onus on the women to do anything? Never, I guess. And he's talking about. I'll say one more thing.
No, that's
He's talking
an
about.
interesting point. That AM, if you don't mind, that is an interesting point. Let's say the men do what you say they're supposed to do, right? And self-improve. We understand that people have an affinity for their own people. So date out is tangible, but it's slightly unrealistic for the overwhelming majority of men in general, and black men included, right? And so let's say the men do everything you tell them to do, and we don't worry about the women and stop complaining about the women, right? If it is alleged that our women are not doing great, what happens to those men that become top tier men? Who do they have to pair with?
No, that's an excellent question. So that's a part of what I've been saying this whole time. And again, this is my perspective, my outlook, kind of me trying to run down a certain logic to it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because the way I see it, regardless, with or without a woman, I'm going to strive to be the best man I can be. And if that creates a situation where I'm operating at a standard that makes it like, well, I'm not fucking with these dusty broads, and my standards are high to a degree where I'm not rocking with anything less than what I need to rock with, well, that's just what it is. Because I'm boiling it down to a simple thing, and I think this is objectively true. Y'all let me know. Nobody owes anything anybody. Nobody owes anybody anything. You were never guaranteed.
So AM, I don't want to cut you off. I just want to interject, right? Because I want to make sure that we get to the answer of it, right? Because it's a harder question too to answer because it's hypothetical, right? So men listen to AM and say, build yourself. Don't worry about nothing around you. Once you get to that point, people want companionship, right?
I agree.
Man ain't here to be alone. And the majority of people prefer their own people, right? The suffix, when people say racist, the suffix ist means take an interest in or pertaining to. Most people are racist and ain't nothing wrong with that. You prefer your own. So now let's say the women don't have that same progression hypothetically, right? And then the quickest, what's it called? Mode of transportation to wealth is marriage. So then you have all these factors. What do the men do in that instance? This is an interest. It was a good. I'm just building on it, CJ. But you said it. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I agree with that.
No, you're doing a good job.
I agree with the logic of everything you guys are saying. Again, I'm solutions oriented. Now, what I'm saying is, we have to come to terms with the fact that we can't control this external situation. We can't control what the women do. At the end of the day, may call it black pill, call it whatever. I just call it being as logical and rational as possible. I'm not taking dating out off the table. The way I see it, your own personal culture, the standards you set for yourself, define your own personal culture. You're trying to align with somebody of a certain intelligence, certain worldview, culture, more so than race. So if somebody's putting the hurdle of skin color, ethnic lineage as their bar, and then saying it has to fit in that parameter, okay, good luck with that. That's a choice. But yes, make yourself the best apex top-notch man, blah, 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 whatever. Bottom line is no one can control what the women do.
And that's the problem.
Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong, because how do we do that?
Sir. Hey, and that's the part of the problem.
Go ahead.
Nobody's trying to control the women, bro. That again, man. Shout out to AM1, bro. You know, and again, we've been through this, dog. Listen, CJ surmised it best. You complaining about the niggas complaining. If you don't want to hear the niggas complaining, don't listen. All right. But again, and you know this because you've been here long enough. There's a sector of black women that promoted the death and deletion of black male boys specifically. Did you have anything to say about that, AM1?
Sure did. I've talked directly to the type, the Cynthia G types. I've spoken and debated directly with her on O'Shea years ago. Yeah.
No, not O'Shea. I'm talking about like, you know, when because on O'Shea she wasn't
don't do too much on the name dropping.
Yeah,
okay,
my bad.
So my fault. So this is what I'm saying. These cadres of women that spew nothing other than motherfucking black misandry. No one tells them to shut up. They're a lot of their platforms are much bigger than the black manospheres. The only person that has anything close to the person I've mentioned before, and then I could say Prince Fella, right? You just had her on, right? The Queen Maker, right? Would be like AM. Other than that, these black men ain't this, black men ain't that, ain't can't, don't want. They outnumber us by a lot. Okay. And then, you know, too, a lot of the, you know, the black manosphere dudes have been, hey, they've been simply kicked off YouTube because, you know, they're you can't say anything about black women, you know, without people complaining, right? So the problem with this thing is that black men can't do what everybody else does. Black men just need to figure it out, just need to get better. And then to your point, you say, okay, well, if ain't no good enough black women, you need to date out. All right. Hamp told you this is a anthropological, sociological fact. The vast majority of people always date and mate intra-racially. So basically what you saying is suck it up, nigga. You make yourself to be out the great dude. You got all the money, you got all the fucking attributes, you got your body, you're in shape, all this shit, just for you to motherfucking die alone. That's what you're saying, bro.
Maybe.
Maybe. So that's what I'm saying. So again, brother,
what I'm saying ain't pretty. What I'm saying is not pretty. But the
all
whole
right.
thing is
So
this.
so
One
like
day or
you
another-
said.
Let me
So
let me address that part.
Vanessa.
Let me address
Okay.
Let me address that part. You know, we talked about this for years. When it all boils down to it, y'all let me know if I'm wilding for thinking like this, because this is truly how I think. So maybe I'm tripping. Regardless of if Keisha's feeling me, Ling Ling, whoever, I'm still about to get out here and be that dude in the real world for sure, being as fit as I can be, trying to have my money game up, whether a woman is in my life or not. I'm running that up. Now, here's the thing. I don't have the problems with women most of these dudes have. And when it comes to women online talking about deleting black male babies and black male image and niggas is dusty, that shit rolls off me like water off a duck's back, because I'm like, well, not me. It doesn't faze me. If anything, I'm more concerned with black men adopting dusty ass looks and making it true what they're saying. I'm more concerned with that. Go ahead.
It's a good message, brother, to better yourself for you. But in practicality, the message isn't going to work. Like, men aren't getting buff just to say I'm buff. They're doing it for the women. The women are the fucking goal. So we keep trying to say this shit. Just do it for yourself.
Is that
man.
mostly true?
No, cart before the horse. Because
is that well? Let me ask you a question real quick. Let me read these super chats. Is that mostly true? Because I said it in one of my things. I think it's like one of the clips. Like what we want to achieve, the aesthetics are for the attention of women, majority wise. Do y'all brothers believe that?
Yes.
Even if you're not speaking for yourself.
You're doing it for the hoes, bro, to some degree. In the back of your mind, it's for the hoes.
Yeah, you want to look good, but my main thing to be strong is so I can give niggas swirlies and shit like that.
Well, okay, so
wait, because the girls like the niggas that give the other niggas swirlies.
No, I'm just saying, like, just to be powerful, like that was always the goal.
I'm with Hamp
on that. Sounds good. That sounds good. Check it out. But nobody
gave a fuck. What reason do I had to embellish that for y'all? Well, that don't make no sense.
No, I'm not saying that you lying. I'm saying
that's just one facet. Now go down the rest of it though. So hold on. So hold on. Just real quick. So hold on. So you ever drove a fucking Ford Pinto, Hamp?
A Pinto?
Yeah.
I used to drive a Dodge Spirit.
A Spirit, okay. By choice or by just that's what you could get at the time?
Yeah, I was a kid. That's what I could get.
Okay, so as soon as you got something, before before you settled down and got married, what did you get?
I got the best car I think I bought, and it was new, was a Infiniti M37X. That's pretty.
So why you didn't get the Nissan, my nigga? What you was too good for the Nissan? Why you get the Infiniti?
Because the Maxima ain't the M37.
It's the same thing. It just got a different emblem.
It's something about that.
It literally is. So why do you get the Nissan Maxima or the Altima?
The Altima, that's for girls.
Oh, for the hoes, like I said.
No, I'm saying they make the Altima. Like if you get a C-class Benz, that's for your girlfriend. Everybody know that.
Yeah, niggas. Yeah, we understand that. But the point I'm making is
a nigga in a C-class Benz, bro, I'm kicking his shit.
Yeah, but this is the point we're making. You have the level. You have a level of luxury. You have a level of things that show status, show success. You know this. Like you said, niggas know this. You don't want the C class. You know you know you want the S class. You know what I mean? And that's for the hoes. It ain't for you. You niggas be 5'2" in a big ass motherfucking Denali truck in the early 2000s. I see y'all need steps to get in your shit, bro. Come on, what we talking about? It's for the hoes. Stop playing.
Let me say this real quick. CJ,
hold on. Let me read these real quick, Am. I've been slacking. Let me read these. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most.
Let me get back to the topic, brother.
Right.
So we keep saying men are picking wrong, right?
What's up, Chris?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Make it quick. So
now go ahead, do your thing. I gotta take a call real quick.
All right. Imagine you go to a restaurant and you pick the wrong. You get a menu, right? You pick the wrong fucking thing. You pick something that's nasty. You can blame that on you, right? Fuck, I picked the wrong thing. Everybody else look like they enjoying their food. Now, if everybody's saying, damn, none of this shit tastes good, you can't keep saying, well, you picked the wrong thing. You picked the wrong thing. Now, you can say you picked the wrong restaurant, right? Now, if all the restaurants are serving terrible fucking meals, you can't keep saying, well, you just picked wrong, brother. You just picked wrong. Go pick the one for you. Stop it with that same fucking dumbass argument. We need better fucking women in our community. We need better people in our community. And stop saying you just picked wrong. Well, go pick a one for you, brother. You picked wrong. That's the woman talking point. Keep musical chairs. Stop it.
If all the food in the restaurant is bad, why you still going there?
Exactly.
The advertisement was good.
I said that. Christopher J don't know how to listen. I said if you go to different restaurants and they serve bad food as well, if most of
Wait, so are you saying all the women are bad? Hold on, we just trying to understand. Most of all the okay, because I'm just saying, brother. First, you said women in our community is bad, and let's say I rock with that, right? So, but you still want to find a woman, you still want to build a family, you still want to have kids, and you still want to, cultivate that type of situation. Doesn't it like behoove you to just move on to the next one? Like, I ain't got a problem with dudes. You want to go mess with a white shoe
restaurant, but then
but you just said most of them is bad. If you got that mentality, how you gonna move anywhere? Because I think again, and I'm not trying to use you, but you speaking the truth right now that most men feel. But I feel like that's a jaded truth because I don't believe. Okay, most is just 51%. If you're telling me 51% of women are bad, I agree with you, my nigga. Like nothing good is ever really.
I say it's more than that. It's like 70, 80%. But then
okay, so it's 20% out there. That's not a bad number when we know that anything worth having is worth like it's not going to be easy to get. You feel me?
About
65%. Like most of the time, I see the shorty. Go ahead, my bad.
Why are we using stats to determine who we're going to be with? I'm not even going to say I'm not even going to say spend the rest of our lives with because, truth be told, look at your past records. Not you, particularly. Look at everybody's past record. You ain't never been with that chick all your life, or even for longer than 6 months. Just be honest and tell the truth. You just want to bust something down. You want to keep it moving. You don't have to.
The stats tell you what do you have. The stats tell you what you have to pick from.
No, it doesn't.
So you might. Yes, it does. What the fuck do you think stats do? What do you think stats are?
Stats dictate what has happened previously. Stats don't dictate who Cali Bev is, does it? Does the stats that you read dictate who Cali Bev is?
Oh my God. She fits into certain stat categories.
All right, let's just give them the stats. Let's just give it to them. Let's let
categories. Whatever stat you fit into, Cali. How old are you?
I'm 44.
Married woman. You fit into a married woman kind of stat. You're married, right? You fit into that stat. Married woman. You're 44. Women over 40 that's married. You fit into that stat. It's a lot of stats you fit into.
But why are you resulting people to numbers? But as a black man, you don't want no one to do that to you.
I don't say don't do it to me. I fit under a lot of stats as well. I'm childish. I fit under that stat. I fit under that
CJ
stat.
is nothing more than a number, correct?
I didn't say that either.
That's what you said when you result to stats.
No, you don't. What the fuck, man?
What are stats? What are stats? A group of what?
Stats are a probability. It's probabilities. That's all it is. Y'all just not smart enough to
Stats are
understand
nothing
it.
but
That's our
stats are nothing
probabilities.
but who. Stats are nothing but who,
Probabilities.
what, when, where, and how. It doesn't tell you why. That's all stats are.
What the
Are you saying
fuck?
Who,
stats
All right,
don't
what,
tell you
man. I'm
when,
not
anything?
about to do this
where,
with
and
y'all.
how.
No,
It
I'm
doesn't
not
tell
about to
you
do
rate.
a
this with y'all.
why.
I swear to God,
Now
I'm
we
not
about
about
to
to
have
do
an
this with
argument about stats. That's why I said just
y'all.
give them their
Exactly.
stats. Like I don't mind you saying
Oh no,
that
I
that
agree. Unlikely. I agree. Let the if they want to result people into numbers, man or woman, doesn't matter. If you want to put a number on them, go ahead. You live with your results, and the best thing you was probably looking for walk right past you because you resulted to him
Bro,
or
the
her to nothing
numbers,
but a number.
Christopher,
and
Christopher,
that's the and that's the
the
and that's the
numbers
point.
matter, brother. Hold on, leave my bad, real quick. The numbers matter, brother. I don't know why y'all act like the numbers don't matter. The numbers don't tell you who. They do kind of tell you who you are. You fit under all kind of stats. Feel me? I'm a black man. That's a
Right.
stat. It's 40% of black or 40 million or whatever the number is. 30
Stats
million,
is for
20
per
million black men in
capita.
America. Hold on.
Wait, hold
Stats
on.
is a
But
per
let him
That is
capita
a
finish, please.
that is
Just
a
conversation.
wait.
that is a hold on, Christopher. That's a
'Cause I,
stat. What's another stat? It's all kind of stats that I fit under. Don't argue that and say, why you don't call, I'm not a number. This is a stupid argument. I don't know why. And I just gave black men a compliment earlier, and I'm starting to take it back, feel me? Because this shit is getting ridiculous. How
Hey, you
y'all
the
don't
black
understand
man.
what
You
number.
the black man.
This
You
shit
need
is dumb.
I
compliments,
already,
nigga. You tripping?
I'm already solidified who I am.
I'm just an
Yeah.
American. Fuck yeah. Listen, the stat argument you could give it to them, but what I think the stats do is okay. You're right. A lot of guys are running into women that have all these different expectations that make the men go, "Oh my God, you're so annoying. I got to get the fuck away from you." You're right. What I think happens and why relationships aren't working is because then the guy becomes jaded and he doesn't go back out into the world, or he goes out into the world and and he doesn't even know how to really interact with women, right? So I think that's more the point of the stats. Like, even if they do have these stats, it's like I've listened to the stats and it never like swayed me to still not go out there and keep trying to look for that 10%, that 20% of women, because that's usually what your wife is going to be. She's not going to be like to expect that your wife is going to be 60% of women or 50% of women is ridiculous. So
Lee, I'm
so
out.
you
Lee, good shit, bro. I'm out of here. Hey, I fuck with you, Lee. Christopher J, you cool
all right,
sometime, man, but
all
I
right,
don't
bro,
know
be
what you be
safe,
talking
bro.
about.
See, I remember when everybody was down in Houston, we was talking about the baby deletion stats and how it was used to weaponize against the women. I guess we made a proclamation that moving forward, we will no longer use these stats to put down the women. But whatever principle that we was able to formulate from that conversation, why does it have to stay with baby deletion? Why can it not go towards marriages, all these other stats? And it goes both ways. Men use stats against women. Women use stats against men. What's the reasoning for using these stats? And quite frankly, like I said, they're nothing but who, what, when, where, how. You're never going to find out the why of these stats unless you sit down and have a conversation with the person ahead of you. I mentioned this on Sharon's show the other day. It's unfair for me to go up to a woman and throw stats in her face before I even tell her hello. I just resulted her into a number. I'm going to see her as a human being, and we're actually going to have a conversation. The stat stuff is a per capita conversation, and you're not having no per capita conversation with the opposite sex, depending on what your intention is. So treat them like a human being and put the stats to the side. You're talking to a human, not a robot.
What's up, everybody? What's good? Sorry if I'm skipping the line, but what up, Chris? I'm
What
sorry,
up? What
brother,
up?
but that's what's happening, bro. Like what you just said is happening. So I don't know if that was trying to make a point that it's not happening, but it that that's throwing the stats in women's face and stuff like that. That's not happening. I don't see that.
Shit.
It's no,
You
it's
said
not.
it's
It's
not. You
Yes, it
said it's
is.
not happening.
what you said is happening is not happening. Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Yes, it is.
Chili's, it
It
is. You
happened
know
earlier.
why?
Online it's happening, but
Hey,
non
can y'all hear me though?
Yes, Fo.
Yeah, we
yeah.
With a
can.
perfect
Hey,
example of
Fo.
us. What's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? What's up? With a perfect example.
This might be risky.
Get them out of here.
What the hell he do? Okay.
Windmilling.
God
No, no, no,
damn.
no, 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 no. For the perfect example that it's saying that this guys are not trying what Hank was saying earlier. We're not even trying the methods. We're not trying nothing. We hearing. Is it really just showing y'all scared to get out there? We get so much rhetoric from different people. They scared tactics are scared. How they messed up and do. We hear so much of it that the guys are not trying. You're not trying. You have your own lane and own aura, bro. You got to get out there and use that shit. But what
I
you doing,
Right.
bro?
disagree. I
I
disagree.
don't, bro. I'm
That's
not.
not what I'm
Yeah, I
seeing in the
disagree
earth.
with that.
That's not what I'm seeing. And I understand I'm using
All
my
right.
anecdotal experience, right? But you got to understand, I always use my where I work in the cities that I live in as an example, right? Again, I'm in I'm in North Carolina. I'm in the Raleigh, Durham, and then where I work at is a small city, right? So it's like and when looking around, I'm not seeing what everybody is talking about online, but I'm
Mhm.
seeing the same problems when it comes to the relationships. They just effing their way through it, or they going back and forth with the women. They not applying the logic that we learn in here. Like those conversations aren't being had. So like
But
once I talk to them and I tell them like, yo, here's a different side of it, and it's not one side or the other, like, oh, bashing women. I try to come from a balanced perspective, but once I tell them, you know from a man's perspective, especially the guys, they understand and they appreciate the advice because they talk about it all the time. They never heard it before, and they never heard it saying the way that I say it. So I resonate with the fellas that I come into contact with when I've seen and talk about the things on here. They don't know. They just feel like the girls that they dealing with is just they problems, but they deal with it because that's just what it is. That's the culture we in. So I disagree with
I ask
y'all
you a question,
wholeheartedly.
bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm right here. Okay, let me give you a magical world, right? Where you could pick the percentage of good women to be out there in the world. That's reasonable. What would that percentage be?
Out of 100%, I'd probably say maybe about 20, 25, maybe 30%.
That's
So all right,
exactly what's
let's just
kind
go
of
with
out
20.
there
Let's go with
already,
20.
though.
Let's go with 20. Let's go with 20.
Brother, that's what's out there right now, brother.
What you
I thought
mean?
you was gonna say we
You
just was
said that.
talking about the percentage of women that are actually good women out there, right? And
Yeah, that's like 20. That's like 20,
CJ said
30%.
80% of women are bad. So in your make believe world, you want what's already going on in real life. What CJ was just complaining about. He said 80% of women are bad, making 20% of them good.
Oh,
And in
you
your
asking me
imaginary,
would I want them to be good? You're asking me would I want them to?
I'm asking you in the world that you created, where you can have a percentage of women being good for men, like whatever
Oh
this
yeah. Okay. I understand your question now. 80%. At least 80.
80%,
Yeah.
80% of what?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now in the real world, how many men are would you deem to be good men for women right now?
I think good means like I think it'd be average and above. So um I would say probably about maybe 65% good dudes out here. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because I think to be a good dude, as far as when you talk about not just taking care of yourself, but as far as character, I don't see a lot of dudes
65%.
in mass out here trying to do the worst to each other. Yeah, we may not trust each other,
Shit.
things of that nature, but I'm not seeing people trying to do the worst in mass. I see the small minority of people doing each other dirty, and things of that nature, crimes and stuff like that. But majority of the time, people just either minding their business or we speak in passing and keep it moving.
This might be risky.
All right, Leah be back in 10 minutes, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Go ahead, Callie. I'm gonna read these super.
I was gonna ask. I just wanted to make sure that I that I understood you right. You were saying that 80% of the men are good and 80% of the women are bad.
No, what Lee
Okay.
asked me in my make believe world, what percentage of the women that I would like want or that I would think would be good or would be good in my world, I would hope the number or want the number to be at least 80%.
But what do you think the number is?
Now,
In your world, yes.
uh I think I said 20. Yeah, between like 20%, 20 or 30%.
Or women are good.
Yeah, that I see in my
So
see around me. Yeah. Mhm.
so you just said what I said.
No, wait. Say it again then. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying so you're saying that 80% of the women are bad and 80% of the men are good.
No, he didn't say anything about the men.
No, yeah, because we're talking about
65%
two.
of men are good.
He was talking about a fantasy world versus the reality.
What
So
But
percentage of the women are good?
in your reality,
What
in
you
my
think?
reality,
Yeah.
not a
yes.
lot. I mean,
What
like I
percentage? What
said,
percentage? What percentage?
so like I don't know, like maybe 20, 30%. Yeah, 20%.
30% of the women are good. 65% of the men are good.
Yeah.
All right, let me read these real quick. Leon would have been a member for 3 months.
Wait, am I missing something?
No, you said what you said.